And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com and, of course, presented by our friends over there at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out at bangtail.com or easyliquor.com. Get that bottle sent directly to your door of Bangtail, which I'm still working on mine for the past 2 years, too. If you want the best whiskey in the business, it is Bangtail Whiskey. Also, thanks to our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas, honkytonktexas.us, the most complete dance hall in my little town down here. Josh Ward coming to play down here February 4th. Looking forward to that, as Josh always puts on a great show. And then this bottle came in today, which is always a cool thing. Our newest sponsor, Gentle Ben. It's the latest of the bourbon out there, too, and aged 3 years. Love this bottle. It is distilled in Indiana and, of course, the Percedo technology in Alvin, Texas. I cannot wait to try this bourbon tonight from Gentle Ben. It's also in the vodka, the gin. Check them out, gentlebenben.com. The website is at the bottom of the screen. If you missed that, for great bourbon, great, of course, gin and vodka. It is so smooth, man. They remove all the impurities out there and make this one of the best drinks you can have. Mix it with whatever your favorite cocktail. Don't just drink with Gentle Ben out there. Pleased to welcome in our guest today on a Thursday. It feels like a Friday almost said Friday. A guy that I've had a tremendous respect for in the industry, as a new single they've had out since October is creating a buzz and music video and everything, called Back Road. Chase Mitchell here on the show. What's up, Chase?
What's going on, brother? Glad to be here, dude.
Good to have you, man. Like I said, enjoying the song on my drive around town today. And, of course, just loving what you guys are doing. Let's talk about, I guess, get to know you a little bit at the top for people that may not know Chase Mitchell, the artist. Tell us a little bit about yourself, growing up. And I guess, hit that point in your life when you kind of knew, man, music was going to go from, like you said, the hobby to a career.
So it's wild, man, because music's been so much a part of my life from being a little kid, getting my first record deal when I was 10 years old, working with Radio Disney and Nickelodeon, doing that whole side of things, to kind of finding out that really country music was more or less my calling. You learn real quickly that, at least I did, that those that were rooted in Nashville or rooted in country music, they had careers, they had longevity, and pop music seemed to be here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. So early on, I said, you know what, man, what do I have to do to get to Nashville? And so when I was about 14 years old, I set my sights on that, and I'm glad I did, because, man, I got so much to thank country music for in these last several years of kind of finding out who I am as an artist and having opportunities to work with other amazing country artists and different country writers and producers and stuff. So my journey's been that of a long one, but I feel like in my heart of hearts, it's just beginning. They're not kidding when they say Nashville is a 10-year town.
That is the truth. Like I said, I've heard that expression used over and over again, which is really an awesome feat. But it goes to show the grind, the grit, the sacrifices families make, the sacrifices you guys make as an artist, too, at the same time, to be able to get out there and pursue a dream that is not, in no means, by any means, necessary. Is it easy to do this, man? From, like I said, to put out great songs, write your own music, collaborate in the industry with other writers and co-writers to make the perfect song, if there is such a thing, which there is out there too. I guess as you kind of follow that dream and see all that come together, was there nerves? Were there challenges? I'm sure today there's even challenges, even just kind of packing up, moving to Nashville and chasing your dream, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, over the years, the challenges more so were country music has had an ever-changing landscape. It's no secret that this last decade has kind of, and it's a good thing. I mean, I know that there's some traditionalists that are like, man, don't pop my country, or don't rock my country, or don't hip hop my country. But country music has become the way I like to look at it, as like a place of refuge for all other subgenres. Have come to kind of find and seek home inside of it. So that's encouraging to someone like me who's got pop roots, that just loves country music and is going, hey man, what do I do with these inspirations, and so over the years, that side of things were more of the uphill battle, like, trying to find your own way while staying true to the songs you're writing, or whatever it is your message is. But lately, honestly, the biggest battle is just I've crossed the hump of kind of carving out what is my version or my brand of what I want to sell as my music to, as a family man, honestly, just pounding the pavement, being out there on the road, 5 days a week, and you barely get home to catch up just to see in a blink of an eye your kids growing up. So I've got two daughters, Lyric and Brooklyn, 5 and 9 years old, and I do everything honestly these days to show them, what it means to chase your purpose and your dreams. But sometimes that's probably the hardest battle, man. And I've had a lot of greats along the way kind of warn me about that. You'll get past the hump of creating a buzz for yourself, and then you'll start realizing that you're missing a whole lot back at home. And so kind of how you deal with that's really the hardest challenge. But I'm glad that God blessed me with the family and the wife that I have, my kids that I have, because just as soon as I get home and have to go, they're just as excited as I am about things. So I guess it could be worse. They could be mad that dad's got to go again for another show run or something, but they're waiting, man, to hear all the cool stories and stuff. And lately I've been able to bring them to stuff on the road, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that's been my dream since getting back into music the last few years, is how quickly can I have my family, my kids be a part of this journey? And so lately it's been doing that. So I've God to thank for that.
Yeah, and it's always important, like you said, get that family support, because I mean, without that, it's tough to do a career like this. As I know, when I was in coaching for a long time in sports, you're gone a lot. You make a lot of sacrifices that you really sometimes you can't explain. So your significant other, or sometimes may not understand. You've got to explain it a little bit further. So yeah, I understand what it's like to run a high school team, play a Thursday night game, Friday night game, play out of town. Drive to get there, the sacrifices the players make, their families. So that's why music and sports really overlap so much there. Hey, tell us about this single, Backroad, man, because this has really caught fire since you guys released it in October, about that first week of October there. And you were just telling me too about the music video, number 3 on CMT. We were talking a little bit before we went live for the show, man. People that haven't checked this out, dude, I listened to it back even before I got materials on it too. You were coming on the show, but dude, this song is fire, and I'm telling people it's the reason why it's number 3 on CMT, no doubt.
Thank you, man. It's wild because perspective. You have a lot of expectations that are kind of like set by your team members and stuff, and kind of like, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, kind of thing. And so, but how my grandfather always raised me was, if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it. Have expectations and work for those. And so I always just believe deep down that if we could get this music out, that it would resonate somehow, and to see the love that CMT and being for those your listeners that may not be familiar with the CMT countdown or the Taste of Country countdown, that's all fan driven. Like, it doesn't mean just because you're Blake Shelton or just because you're Carrie Underwood that you're just going to have a number 1. Like, people have to vote for you week by week. So it was kind of like a humbling leveling out of the playing field. And so these last several weeks to look and to turn on CMT and be like, oh my God, there's my video, and enough people liked it to vote it to be number 3. And the rumor around town is here in Nashville that we should be number 1 on Taste of Country this week. We were number 2 last week, and I've never had a number 1 ever, whether it's video or record, anything like that. So next week, or I guess the ending of this week, when the polls close tomorrow, we're supposed to be number 1. I'm still fingers crossed, but it's crazy. I try not to pay attention, honestly, because I didn't get into music for those things, right? I feel like that gets in the way of making like honest music. But something's resonating with the people, and what that is, I don't know. I'm just thanking God each week, like that it's there, that it's working. And that's just kind of my prayers, that I get to keep that going as we release new music and more videos going into this new year. But yeah, thank everyone, y'all. If you're tuning into the podcast and you're voting on CMT or Taste of Country, thank you. You're literally changing my life.
No, and congratulations on that feat, man, because you're right. That's not an easy thing to do. The fans have to, again, vote on that, and no matter who you're up against or what other great song is out there, a great music video, too. I've seen how that works, and it's a whole that process has to work itself out, too. So congratulations on that success, man. Again, the song really dictates the music video, and, of course, vice versa. It's a great song. Again, Backroad is out there across all the digital platforms. And I tell you what, if you got a guitar near you right now, we may have to have you jam with us here on the show.
Absolutely.
Play that for us. So definitely, I tell you what, I'll let you get that guitar. I'll throw it to break here. We're going to take a timeout for the sponsors here. Again, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out too at Total Wine in Nashville, bangtail.com. EasyLiquor.com if you want to do some online shopping there. It's 90 proof, handcrafted. It's good shit. I love it. It goes down very well. Bangtail.com, EasyLiquor.com. And the newest sponsor we got on board, great vodka, great gin, and now some bourbon here, GentleBen.com, BEN, and it's a great bottle, 750 milliliters here, distilled in Indiana. And, of course, the Percedo technology, you're going to find out a little bit more. They remove all the impurities to make one of the finest drinks out there, vodka, gin, and bourbon at GentleBen.com. It's also available in the Houston area at Total Wine, of course, Specs, and, of course, check for it on the end cap. If they don't have it, demand it. So you guys can not just drink, but you can sit there and drink with some smooth stuff out there. And also Honky Tonk Texas. We'll get a word in from our sponsors. More with Chase Mitchell here on the Backstage Pass. He's going to play Back Road when we come back from break. Hang tight. Word from our sponsors here on the Backstage Pass, again, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. You can pre-save that down. Chris Weaver Band, of course, our good friend Jacob Bryant, of course, definitely love that out there. The new song Circus coming out February the 3rd. Make sure you guys go pre-save that now across the digital platforms. Great song coming up next week on Friday, I believe it is next week, February the 3rd. I believe we're saying February here on the podcast here on the Backstage Pass. You get presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits, and, of course, Honky Tonk Texas, that Percedo technology for Gentle Bens. I love watching that video of all the different science behind making a good vodka, gin, and their bourbon out there too as well. Straight bourbon. Get yours now at GentleBen.com or the Total Wine over in the Houston area. Back here with Chase Mitchell on the show for the Backstage Pass, the new song Back Road. I'm going to hush up and let you take over, brother. It's all yours.
Never were one for city lights. Said the black that sky makes stars are fine. More of a Duro Queen being Jeep on 35s. If I close my eyes, I can see you now. You long hair blowing in the wind, with the windows down, now you're out in the world, thinking about how we fell in love on a back road. Where you are now, girl, heaven only knows. Sweet riverbed blanket, sipping blackberry wine, looking at room facts, taking the time. I never thought you would go. Sweet fell in love on a back road. And now much has changed, I still cruise around. And girl, I'm guilty, I admit, still feel your lips when I drive down the street where we first If I close my eyes, I can feel it. A Friday night Ferris wheel bus spinning round and around. Now you're out in the world thinking about how we fell in love on the back road. Running after my heart and where you are now, girl, heaven only knows. Sweet on riverbed like sipping blackberry wine with the night moon fast, taking the time. I never thought you would go. Sweet fell in love on the back road. Yeah, girl, where did you go? Girl, I swear I see you around every twist of corner. Sometimes I find myself late at night drinking water. When your hands out the window, dancing down the breeze. With the sun sinking down, do you think of me? We fell in love on the back road. Running up in my heart and where right now, girl, heaven only knows. Sweet on a jean jacket, rebel, skipping river on pebbles. Your love's paved in my soul. Yeah, you moved on by, I'm still froze. We fell in love on that back road. Yeah, girl, where did you go? Where did you go? Come back home, where we fell in love on that back road. Oh, oh.
Good stuff right there. Chase Mitchell here on the Backstage Pass here, of course. Always good times here with artists and learning about new music out there. And you can see why that song is, like I said, running up those, climbing the rungs of that ladder, if you will. And like I said, running itself up there, hit one domino, and they all fall out there too as well. It's just that domino effect of Back Road out there, which is across all the digital platforms out there, as we're presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Gentle Ben Spirits, a great maker of bourbon, of course, gin and vodka out there using the Persedo technology, PERSEDO.com. Be sure to check that out. And our friends at Honky Tonk Texas out there. Hey, as the new year kind of, rolls on, we're 26 days now into this new year. Talk about now, you're riding the momentum of this song, this wave, man, you guys have been on. And it's pretty cool to sit back and just watch it sometimes. But one thing I've learned on this show is the musicians that are talking to people in the industry, musicians never rest on their laurels. Talk about what's next, if you can, as much as we can let the cat out of the bag. I know there's new music ready to go, right, for 2023?
Yeah. There's a lot. So our next single that's going to be going to country radio this spring is Strawberry Daiquiris. It's a song that I love because, man, I love me some Kenny Chesney, some Zach Brown, Feel Good Beach, like all cares in the world, right? Gone. Back Road was more of like that, just like 80s power driven type, style pop country thing. But Strawberry Daiquiris is complete opposite. Like it is put your feet up, put your toes in the sand, get a drink in your hand, and just make sure that whoever's right next to you is someone that you really, really love. Like that's what the song is about. It's some nostalgic, going back to where you once fell in love, spring break kind of style. And I'm really happy. We're going to be shooting the video down in Orange Beach. So I've been really blessed with an opportunity to partner with. Are you familiar with like the competition cheerleading world at all?
A little bit. I
know it's like
a little bit. Yeah.
Left field. But so like these cheerleaders all across the country will pack out these arenas and stuff, and they'll compete amongst each other. And I partnered up with a company where I'm the special guest. I'm the performer essentially, because my message of chasing your purpose, that's a big thing for me. It resonates with the athletes. And so I got invited to do a lot of the award ceremonies. And oddly enough, talk about full circle. So my producer and co-writer, Danny Rader, he is in Kenny Chesney's band, touring band. And just last year, I watched Kenny Chesney play to a packed out house in Orange Beach, the Wharf Amphitheater down there in Orange Beach. That was surreal. And to think that a year later, I get to perform at the Orange Beach twice in April to a sold out amphitheater, 10,000 plus people each weekend for these cheerleading competitions is just surreal. But yeah, we're shooting the music video for Strawberry Daiquiris that first weekend of April and releasing it the third weekend. So the weekend after Easter, y'all be making sure you tune in to whether it's CMT or however it is you get your music videos these days. YouTube, Taste of Country, CMT will be premiering that video, and I'm so stoked about that. It's man, it's unreal.
I want to ask you about this because I know maybe we touched on it a little bit, but to kind of elaborate a little bit more, because this is kind of cool. Because I remember when I was 9 years old, I'm out like picking up sticks and like throwing rocks and like hitting rocks with a baseball bat and like playing baseball outside. Dude, you signed your first record deal at 9 years old, and I know here's a name people are going to know just in the music industry, Maurice Starr, New Kids on the Block. Holy crap! Tell us more about this, because I mean, 9 years old and you're signing your first record deal. What was that like?
It was nuts. I mean, my oldest is 9 years old. So like, I just look at it through the lens of like what my life was at 9 versus like where my daughter's life is at 9, and massively different. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it was crazy. It was crazy to say the least. Lots of firsts, if you will. But I mean, honestly, God had bestowed upon me some abilities and right time, right place kind of moments. And I just went with it. And I'm glad that my family encouraged me to do that at such a young age, because, you know, hands down, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at in music right now had I not had that early ability to kind of get in and feel around and kind of plant your feet and get to know the industry. Because I mean, I'm 33 now, and I know a lot of artists that are just starting at basically my age. And so it's a blessing and a curse. I mean, I know there's some things I wish I could kind of go back and save. As a father now, I look at it like, had I been, you know, a father to me back then, I would have maybe tried to shelter me a little bit more. But everything happens for a reason. And I feel like God brought me to this moment for a reason. And I feel like now more than ever, you know, it's not about really me as an artist. Like, I could care less if people know who Chase Mitchell is. But if they hear my music and it encourages them to chase their dream and not give up or chase their purpose, I feel like then that's why everything kind of had a delayed fuse, if you will, all these years later. So it makes sense to me, and I hope it resonates with the audience.
Yeah, I think it does, man. Like I said, I can't wait for this other one to come out. You talked about Strawberry Daiquiris, which is going to be a spring break kind of feel to it, which I can't wait for that. And definitely spring break coming up for me is vacation. And I'll probably jam to it when I take a little trip out to spring training to Arizona. Go out there and watch just some MLB and check out some of the teams out there and just, hey, by the pool and, you know, have a daiquiri. Have some
Malibu rum, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Have some of this and bring it on the plane. Have some of this too.
Strawberry daiquiri. Yes. Some Bangtail, dude. Get you some Bangtail.
Some Bangtail whiskey. You gotta love the name of that drink.
There we go.
That's a great.
You can make a strawberry daiquiri with whiskey. I mean, like, it's 2023. I mean, like, there is no constraints.
Create your own.
If that drink in your hand identifies as a daiquiri, well, damn it, it's a daiquiri.
It's a daiquiri. I love that. This is a new single coming out too. Hey, I'm going to turn it over to you in a little bit, but I want to know what this was like too. Just like I said, recognition we talked about with Maurice Starr and how it just changed your life and the first record deal, that kind of thing, and performing and boy band and all these different opportunities. But talk about just the opportunity to open for some well-known groups like this with Outkast and Destiny's Child and a regular act on Radio Disney. I mean, to get that type of attention even growing up and then throughout your career, I mean, just, you know, great. I know musicians don't like to talk about kind of rewards and recognitions, but I mean, still, again, those are feel-good moments, man.
100%. I mean, it was wild, honestly, because in that day and era, it was different. Like, nowadays, it takes several years of building with the team and getting out there. But back in the early or late 90s, early 2000s, there was still that whole, like, 1 month later can change your whole life. Like, you could go from no one knowing you to a month or two later, you know, with the right opening acts or the right companies you're working with, to like everyone knowing you. I'll never forget, I was sitting in Phillips Arena in Atlanta, and I was 10 years old. We were opening for Outkast, which, I mean, if anyone knows Outkast, like, they're the Atlanta band, man. Like, that is their turf. And I'm sitting there, and my mom, bless her heart, like, she's blind to all of this. She has no clue who any of these artists are, right? She's just being a good old Southern mom. She made fresh chocolate chip cookies to bring for the show backstage, and she's sitting there passing out cookies to Andre 3000 and Big Boy. And there was some people from No Limit. So, like, at the time, like, No Limit Soldiers were blowing up. So you've got Silk the Shocker and Master P and all these different, I mean, there's like legitimate, like, gangsters, like thugs. And we're all just backstage eating my mom's chocolate chip cookies, just talking as if like there's no like this. I will never forget that in as long as I live. Yeah, it was wild, man. It was just a different era.
That's great right there too, man. Like,
Yeah,
and again,
my mom. I think a month later, C. Murder was there too. Who I don't know. You're gonna have to do your research, but he was indicted on like a murder charge the next month. And we're sitting there eating chocolate chip cookies, and you wouldn't have been it, man. Everyone was just loving my mom that day. A memory I'll always cherish, man.
Looking forward to that too. Looking forward to, like I said, just seeing you play live one day, and just kind of, like I said, love the personality, man. Like I said, just infectious, and these are great stories, and these things do not happen by accident out there, man. You got to have some good guts and kind of grit to keep these things going. Have these great stories to tell, man. Like I said, your resume is awesome, and you're only, I say this, 33, and I'm about to 43, so I'm 10 years older than you, and I've had a good life too. Well, I'd say I just had my first daughter about 3 years ago. She'll turn 3 this year, so it's kind of like I waited late to have kids, but now I have appreciation for understanding what being a father of a 3-year-old girl is all about. It's a pretty cool endeavor. I love it. And like I said, you got kids, so you know what it's all about.
You're in the thick of it, bud. She can do no wrong, dude. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the 3rd time she's woken up for the night. She can do no wrong.
She can definitely do no wrong when he comes down to that. Again, you guys give him a follow at Chase Mitchell out there across the socials. And, of course, check out Back Road. Strawberry Daiquiris is going to be the next single that comes out. Is there a drop date for that coming up, or is it around spring? It's about spring break, but is it
We're looking to service it to country radio late March, beginning of April. We're still we're waiting and say some prayers. We're hoping that Sirius XM wants to have the March exclusive. So that's the only reason why I haven't put out there an actual drop date. But if Sirius XM does take the exclusive, you'll be able to hear it on the highway all throughout March. And then come April, you'll hear it on country radio.
Love that, brother. Love that. Like I said, best of luck with that with Sirius XM too. No doubt about that. Hey, let's take a quick time out here. We'll take time out for our sponsors. Come back. You got one more for us, and we'll get into a little bit of rapid fire, have some fun holiday questions and that kind of thing, kind of going on there, TV shows, all that good stuff too from Chase here. Again, a timeout for a friend over at Gentle Bins. Tell you about that right now. It's the Percedo technology, the science, the technology behind this, the machines they use. We're going to have our good friend Ricky Ford on, who's the president and CEO of the company, coming up here in a few weeks to talk more about this Percedo process and this technology where they remove all the impurities from the drink, guys. It is a great drink. Not just to drink, but drink with class, drink with style. Enjoy your drink. You don't have to rush over it too. All the nasty stuff is just done away with, all the impurities, and it is a pure, smooth vodka gin. And, of course, bourbon out there too. Their bourbon is 94 proof. It is amazing. They distill it in Indiana, gentleben.com. And, of course, our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, bangtail.com, or easyliquor.com. That distillery is in Orlando, Florida. Our good friend Brandon Bing does a great job with that company out there at Bangtail Whiskey. Total Wine in Nashville. You can get it there now. And, of course, order it at bangtail.com and our friends over at easyliquor.com. And Honky Tonk Texas, check them out. Josh Ward coming up February 4th out there at honkytonktexas.us for some of the shows and everything. One final timeout. Chase has got one more song for us here. It is the Backstage Pass with Chase Mitchell here. And, of course, our friends Jacob Bryant, Chris Weaver, brand new song coming out February 3rd called Circus. You'll find out more about that here in just a few minutes. It is the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. science and technology behind it. All those great machines remove all the impurities. GentleBen.com, Gentle Ben Spirits for vodka, gin, and bourbon out there. Houston Total Wine, and of course Specs are with the Houston Rockets, the Houston Astros. Great tasting events are coming up, so check them out at GentleBen.com and go find a tasting event in your area out there too. Some great liquor out there that is just fantastic. Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas. We count down to CRS 2023. We'll be there. Myself, Kirsty Krause, and of course CJ Garton. They're live at the Omni Hotel March 13 to 15 in Nashville, Tennessee, interviewing Chase and of course Alana McCready. And Nashville's best and brightest. They'll come down and hang out with us there in the media room here on the Backstage Pass. So I know you got one more for us, my friend. Backroad is out there across all the digital platforms. Strawberry Daiquiris is coming out here in a matter of a few weeks. A great spring break tune. You guys have titled a great title for a song. I love what you guys do with that tune there, especially since I'm a drinking show. No doubt about that. You can mix your favorite cocktails and have fun with that from some of the liquors we advertise here on the show. Yeah.
When we do CRS, we got to have a daiquiri in our hand and do a live broadcast of it, because that'll be probably the week or two before we roll it out. So
okay,
that would be awesome.
We'll get down there, because I know I'll see my good friends Taylor, Juliana, and of course Christy. Love Aristo, all the great things they do out there too to make us a part of the event. So definitely, man, looking forward to it. And let's have a little toast, because I'm going to have a little red Solo cup or something there with this in it or something like that. Drink on. I've drank on the show before, so this has got my bottle here directly to me. But I know this stuff is good because I've had it before. And like I said, we do not advertise bad liquor here or bad whiskey here on the podcast here on the Backstage Pass, because people know me. If I put my name on it, the shit's going to taste good. No doubt about it.
It's got to be good. Yeah.
It's got to be good when it comes down to it, because I won't put my name on anything bad out there too when it comes down to it. No pun intended, no disrespect to anybody's product out there too. But I know I've got two of the finest here on the Backstage Pass here. Hey, you got one more for us, and what are we going to hear?
You know what? I think I should give them a little tease to Strawberry Daiquiris.
All right, let's do that.
I think I should play that one.
I like
that
that.
Coming up. All right, here we go. Lately, I could say time sure slipping away, and it's scaring me. 'Cause when I look at you, I still see spring breaking taste. Malibu, girl, you in your bikini in Panama City. Never seen anything more pretty. Still happen to this day. Strawberry sunsets, strawberry daiquiris, just you and me in the breeze. Strawberry chapstick, strawberry lips, oh, over me. Tropical kisses, oh so sweet. You're working those tan lines while the sun shines, sipping on strawberry daiquiris. What I really want to do is slip away with you. If we leave right now, we can check in by noon. Oh yeah, every now and then I close my eyes and pretend you're sipping some cold toes in the sand. Coconut oil and you rubbing it in. Strawberry sunsets, strawberry daiquiris, just you and me in the breeze. Strawberry chapstick, strawberry lips, oh, over me. Tropical kisses, oh so sweet. You're working those tan lines while the sun shines, sipping on strawberry daiquiris. Oh, take me back, baby. Oh, yeah. Girl, still think about Panama City. Never seen anything more pretty. Still happen to this day. Strawberry sunsets, strawberry daiquiris, just you and me in the breeze. Strawberry chapstick, strawberry lips, oh, over me. Tropical kisses, oh so sweet. You're working those tan lines while the sun shines, sipping on strawberry Strawberry daiquiris.
Love it. A little taste right there. The next single from Chase and the team out there, too. Strawberry Daiquiris looking to make that Sirius XM list. And, of course, right there, final week in March or sometime there in April, hope to drop that out there for the listening audience of country music. And if you like that, you're craving more, just like me, too, when it comes to your liquor, too, at the same time, just like your country music. You want more and more every day when it comes down to it, no doubt here. Back here presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out, bangtail.com, or, of course, out there at Easy Liquor. And order online. Also, Gentle Ben, the Houston Total Wine and Specs out there. They don't have it, demand it out there. Gentle Ben spirits, the vodka, the gin, and the bourbon is outstanding when it comes down to the drink out there. And our friends at Honky Tonk Texas, Josh Ward coming up February 4th next week on Saturday. So a lot of cool things coming up out there. If you haven't seen a Josh Ward show, you missed a good little bit of Texas country out there. If you've never seen it, go check it out. Get tickets at honkytonktexas.us. And, of course, out there in links on Honky Tonk Texas Facebook page. And I'm sure Josh Ward, his website, has got ticket information out there, too, as well. Like I tell you, this the point of the show. Love to have fun if we hadn't had fun already. We've had fun, no doubt about it.
Having a blast, dude.
Enjoying this. As far as Christmas traditions, tell us about something that was fun, hanging out with the family. What you guys do?
So leading up to the holiday season, I missed my daughter's birthday. I missed Mother's Day. I missed our anniversary. I missed every special thing, trying to be out there doing what us artists have to do, and that's promote. But I was able to kind of end my 2022 with specifically saying, listen, guys, from like the second week of December until the first week of the new year, I'm not doing anything. So I ate so much good food that my wife has been so kind to. Like over the year, we live far away from a lot of our family, and she has made it such a just like cool that she picks up all these recipes from like my mom or my grandma or her grandma, things that I've fallen in love with over the years. And for those few weeks leading up to the only request I had, I said, sweetheart, don't get me any presents. Don't just cook all the food I love. Like just cook the baked goods that I just want to stuff my face with. And let's just make our schedules where we can just spend time with each other and watch all the. I'm a big Claymation, like the original, like A Year Without a Santa Claus. You know, all of those old, like I think it was
those are good.
50s or 40s. Those are that's me, dude. That's like what I know of Christmas.
Like a Christmas story. You can't go wrong with that movie either.
You can't go wrong if you're going to shoot your eye out, kid. You can't go wrong with any of those. But that's what I wanted. So she made such an effort, and I love her, man. My wife, she's amazing. She made an effort to say, look, I know you only have these couple weeks off. So every day we're going to cook some kind of family recipe that you love, and we're going to kind of mark out the movies that we'll watch. And it was just amazing, man. Like that's eating, spending time with family, and soaking in those traditions. That's really what Christmas is about.
You summed it up right there, my friend. Hey, as far as TV shows, we mentioned a couple of those Christmas holiday traditions, but as far as binge watching, I know I'm getting back into this The Last of Us, which is on HBO Max now, which is this apocalyptic kind of zombie kind of thing going on too. If people hadn't checked it out, it's only been a couple of episodes so far, but it is it's grabbing my attention. It's got the two actors that were in Game of Thrones. They had certain roles in there that they played, but I love it. What do you guys like to binge watch, either by yourself or as a family?
So if the kids aren't around, I love House of Cards. My wife is a big Scandal fan, but something that we've been watching here lately, and I don't even know the producers of the show or anything like that, but it's called Your Honor, and it's got dude, it's good. If you like Breaking Bad, it's got the main character, I forget.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah.
Yes, him. It's him, and he plays a judge on this show where he had lost his wife, and he's kind of raising his teenage son by himself. They got picture perfect life there in New Orleans. He's been a judge, so crystal clean record as a judge, and then tragedy strikes. Right, his son, who's about to have a full ride to some college, accidentally hits a kid in his car and kills him. And it turned out the kid he hit was the son of the biggest mobster in New Orleans.
Interesting. Wow.
And so, no, it's a good show.
Your Honor. I'm going to check that out tonight, brother, on my
it's
TV.
called Your Honor. And I'm telling you, where he goes from being this crystal clear judge, like nothing, to having to cover up his son's tracks to protect. protect his future because he knows as soon as he has to turn in his son for an innocent mistake he didn't mean to, he knew his son's life was over. So I think as fathers we can relate, man. It's like the desperateness in his actions are just like that of a father, just trying the best they can. But it's amazing, dude. It's riveting.
Is that Netflix or is that?
That is, I believe, on Prime. You got Prime, or I think Showtime. You can get it as well. But look it up. It's called Your Honor.
Your Honor, and Bryan Cranston. I'm looking forward to that too, and getting that in there too, which is great. And I know there's some great actors in that too, so definitely always look at House of Cards, and there's some cool stuff that's out there too. Did you ever get into that Cobra Kai series? Were you a big Karate Kid fan?
Oh man, you know where they lost me was they never brought back Mr. McGee. Like Mr. Miyagi, like they never brought him. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna sell me on a spinoff of Karate Kid, bro, at some point one of these people got to come on in. I know that they brought in the original Karate Kid, but like I had high hopes for the show. It lost me after the couple episodes, but maybe I got a lot of friends that love the show.
It was definitely one of my favorites too, no doubt. It's become the final season looks like it's coming out sometime later this year for season 6, and they're ending that, which was what they're signed to. The agreement is probably ending this year, but the series, always great series can pick up on some other network and resume. It's great broadcast out there. Well, I tell you what, dude, I love the story. It's been so much fun today having you on the show. Backroad is the current single out there from Chase Mitchell. Give him a like on socials out there, and of course, Strawberry Daiquiris. We got a little taste of that today, too. It's coming out right there in late March, sometime first week of April, and could premiere on SiriusXM, one of the rising stars in country music. Chase, appreciate the time, my friend. Looking forward to rocking on, hopefully meeting you there at CRS in Nashville. We'll have that drink, and thanks for being a part of this, man. I appreciate it.
I got a cold whiskey with your name on it, Brandon. I can't wait to do this in person, brother. Safe travels, man. I'll see you soon.
It's good.
And hopefully we can do this again with Strawberry Daiquiris once it's coming out.
I'm looking forward to it, my friend. And thanks to our sponsors over there, Gentle Ben Spirits, the vodka, the gin, the bourbon is fantastic, removing all the impurities out there to make surely a refined experience at gentleben.com. And, of course, Bangtail Whiskey in Honky Tonk, Texas. Appreciate what they do here. The podcast to keep us going. Shows tomorrow, we'll have to find out. But, of course, next week we'll talk more. My good friend Jeremy Branham, he does the midday show on ESPN 97.5 in Houston, Texas, will join us here. We'll talk about the Houston Astros and their newest general manager, which I'm hugely high on here, wearing the cap here for the Houston Astros. Of course, Dana Brown coming in as the VP of scouting from the Atlanta Braves. We'll talk more about that. And, of course, spring training is just like, 2-3 weeks away, pitchers and catchers report, and baseball season is in the air after the Super Bowl is over. Because I don't have a dog in the fight with football, so now I'm ready for baseball season.
I can smell the peanuts and the hot dogs in the air now, dude.
Crack of the bat.
Big old Bravos fan, man. So
Bravos, well, there you go.
Getting on the head, dude.
We took a little piece of that Braves executive office today. And
I know.
Dana
I'm
Brown.
curious to see what happens now.
Yeah, you know who Dana Brown is, no doubt. And the Astros logo for hey, you beat our ass in the World Series in 2021. We got it back this year, so hopefully 2023 we'll see two great organizations, two guys, executive's office. Jeremy Branham coming by from ESPN 97.5. He does the Killer Bees middays on ESPN 97.5 in Houston. FM out there, you can listen to it here if you pass through Texas. And, of course, coming up here, Stephanie Quayle next week. Dylan Carmichael, February 7th. A whole lot more coming up here on the Backstage Pass. We'll see you guys possibly tomorrow, if not definitely Monday. Chris Essex is coming by next week, and a whole lot more here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, take care. Have a great night. Drink responsibly. Drink Gentle Ben and drink Bangtail Whiskey out there. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great